This is the fault that causes your sewing machine to tangle the thread in the bobbin. I'll show you how to quickly and easily fix this common problem. We'll lift the presser foot and then we'll try to carefully remove the fabric. We're going to cut the thread from the bottom section. Be very careful not to nick the bobbin case or the rotary hook. In this way we can see the material comes out easily, and we'll remove the bottom pieces. We'll take out the bobbin holder with its bobbin. We're going to open the openers to one side. We're going to remove the hook retainer, and finally we'll take out the hook itself. We need to analyze and check that there isn't any thread around. So we absolutely must remove all the parts to check for any threads, because if even a tiny thread gets stuck, it will jam the machine and it won't sew properly.
You manually move the flywheel, letting the needle drop to its lowest point. As you can see, here's the mirror. We can see the needle bar isn't going down as far as it should.
Therefore, the needle does not reach this lower section, remaining too high to properly interlace the threads. And the point of the shuttle, by failing to grasp the thread and the needle, causes all the thread to accumulate each time the needle descends and ascends, which is why the thread becomes entangled within the bobbin.
Again, as the hook's point is passing too far below the eye. If it passes too low, it won't be able to pack out the thread, therefore the machine won't sew and all the thread will get tangled in the bobbin. So to resolve this particular issue, we need to proceed as follows. We'll go to the upper section and carefully lower the cover that conceals the needle bar and the presser foot. In this specific case, this machine has the screw located on one side, which requires a Phillips head screwdriver to loosen. Let's go down to the bottom and remove the bobbin case. We're going to turn it forward manually and we'll make the needle go all the way down. We'll leave it there and then we'll take the next measurement. The eye of the needle should reach this part here, which is the feed dog. In other words, the needle's eye should split this part exactly in half. The needle's eye should only extend up to this specific point here, which represents the standard height for all sewing machines equipped with a vertical bobbin case in this particular scenario. By doing this, we will prevent the machine from stopping its sewing operation, and with this precise measurement, you'll have the correct height for the needle bar of your domestic sewing machine. And we're going to go to the very top and we'll loosen the screw that secures the needle bar. With the needle in its lowest position, we're going to grab one of these, which is a number 2 Allen key, and we'll loosen the screw that secures the needle bar,
which is this one. We insert the key and we are going to loosen it to the left.
We can leave the key there and go down to the bottom. With the bar now loose, we'll take it and lower it down to the previously mentioned adjustment point, which is right here. We can see that the hole splits the impeller piece in two.
Once we have it positioned like this, we'll go to the upper section and tighten the screw that secures the needle bar. Then turn the wrench clockwise, just enough so it's firmly in place without applying too much force, and then we remove it. We'll come back down to the lower part, and now with the screw tightened, we're going to manually turn the hand wheel.
And we can see the hole will always reach that specific point, so the needle won't be too high or too low. This is the highest point the needle's eye should reach, which is its recommended ideal height, ensuring the machine works and sews perfectly for us.
Now we're going to make the adjustment for the grab, this one, and this one, and then we'll take off this cover. We'll loosen this screw and then remove this cover. Next, we're going to proceed to remove the back cover, and you can see that we'll loosen this screw and this one.
And for the top part then, the upper section will start first with the ones below. We're moving forward with these two from the upper section. I'm not pulling them, we're going to throw with the other one.
We'll continue with that screw, then we lift this part here so that this fabric releases, and this screw, we're only going to loosen it. We're not going to remove it completely. We'll just loosen it a little, and then we can take off this cover. We'll move the back cover just a bit because it already comes with some small little hooks here.
We're going to have to move it, start loosening it, and we'll see how it comes out. Once we have our machine behind it, we're going to locate this part. This is the gear that holds the shuttle mechanism, which has two screws that we'll need to loosen. Here we have one screw, and then we have the second one. We must slightly loosen both of them to move the shuttle and adjust its timing, which is what I'll be showing you next. Alright, now before I explain the next thing, the crab adjustment, we're going to set the machine to the widest zigzag to the largest one, because this adjustment is made with the largest zigzag. Now we're going to explain the following. First, we must ensure that the furthest point between this, which is the tip of the crab, and the needle's notch, that is, just a little bit above its eye. At this moment, the needle is positioned in the right hip. So let's see, we turn the hand wheel normally, and we say the point is passing too far below the eye. Here the machine is out of adjustment due to the hook's timing, and we'll get skip stitches or it won't sew, and all the thread will get tangled in the bobbin. The tip of the crab, when it's on the right descent, should pass above the eye, more or less around here, at this specific point. So we can see that the crab is behind. We continue moving the hand wheel and it keeps passing below. So we need to adjust that part. We move the hand wheel. On the left track, we see it passes higher than the eye. Here, on the left track, the machine might work fine, but on the right track, the furthest point, we see it will always pass below the eye. So the machine will definitely cause us problems when sewing. So what we need to do is loosen the screws located on the back part of the gear mechanism and then advance it just a little bit so that the tip passes slightly higher than the eye. Then we'll move to the back section and carefully loosen both of those screws. Using a number 2 Allen key, we will proceed to loosen the first screw and then we'll loosen the second one as well. We turned the steering wheel around and then we found the other screw. We loosened that one a little bit too. Now let's go to the front. The screws are already loose. What should we do? Since it's delayed, we need to advance the shuttle. We're going to take it out, and since the screws are loose, a bit loose, we're going to apply some force to this part of the driver while holding the flywheel so that we can advance the shuttle. We moved it. We are going to produce the crab. And we're going to turn the hand wheel, and we'll see that it fits perfectly right there. We can observe if we gently move the hand wheel, the tip actually passes just above the needle's eye, which indicates it's the absolutely perfect measurement. This way we ensure the machine catches the stitch at the needle's lowest point. Once the machine is in this position, we go to the back and tighten the screws, making sure the adjustment doesn't move. We turn it back, bring this piece slightly forward, and then tighten the first screw. We'll tighten the first screw, always keeping in mind that it shouldn't come out of this A to L range. As we can clearly see, it's protruding just a little bit. Therefore, what we must do is gently push it a little bit forward and then we tighten the screw. Once it is firmly tightened in place, be careful not to apply too much force so it doesn't strip or spin, and then we proceed to work on the second screw. And we can see that it fits us perfectly. If we turn the steering wheel, we can see that it moves smoothly. Now we'll go to the front section to verify that the crab hasn't shifted and that it remained in place just as we had set it up previously. We check, we turn the steering wheel, remember the right camber, and then we turn the steering wheel again. And we see that the adjustment worked out well. We see the crab's tip is passing above the eye. And observing the flywheel on the left drop, it passes higher. On the left drop, it can pass much higher than normal. Again, we return to the right drop. And we see that it continues to pass exactly the same way over the eye. Now we'll proceed to place the covers and the crab section. We'll first proceed to place the cover on the rear section. This way, we make sure that this specific part fits into the gear plate.
The act of inserting them.
This is how we proceed. We then ship these specific parts. And
we can see that it hooks into place. We tighten this screw, we hold it steady, and we tighten it gently, not too hard. And that's how it looks. And then we flip it over, and we put the screws on the side of.
Now we will proceed with the installation of the rubber bar.
We'll now move to the bottom section. First, we'll place the specific piece right here. Of this, we are going to put the screw in, then we'll proceed to place that specific part, which is installed in this manner. This particular piece, it goes right here. The one that is a little bit longer, that one goes right here in this specific section. And the other piece, it goes directly into the bottom part. Finally, we then place the crab.
After that, we put in the crab retainer. This small stick should be positioned on the bottom side. Afterward, we close it with the two opening pieces. It will then be completely stable. After that, we put in the bobbin holder with its bobbin, and it needs to make a click. This small leg going into this hole.
We'll close it up, and now we're going to test it out by sewing some fabric. We'll place the material down, and then we'll start to sew.
Now to lift up the bottom section, we'll remove this, then lower the cover, and then we'll take a look. At the bottom, the thread won't get tangled anymore. This is to visualize where the bobbin is located, and we'll see that the thread no longer gets tangled, and the machine will work perfectly fine. And we see the stitching, we see it works perfectly for us without a single problem and without the thread getting tangled.